In today's video, you'll learn how OpenAI's operator, its AI agent, will significantly reshape businesses, industries, and economies. We demo and discuss how Operator redefines the skills necessary for the current and future workforce. Let's accelerate your business. Welcome to the AI Accelerator for Business show, where you get the latest strategies, tactics, and information about the business benefits of artificial intelligence. My name is Carl Ye, and I'm also joined by my co-host Jeff Bradshaw. And today we're going to be talking about OpenAI's new Operator AI agent and what it means for businesses, industries, and economies.
Carl, this is an interesting topic, and it's so fresh. But I mean, operators can boost productivity, lower operational costs, and create an entirely new business opportunities. It has potential to redefine workflows across industries, fueling innovation and economic growth.
So I'm going to share my screen for people to know exactly what Operator actually is. First of all, we're in Canada, so I actually had to put a VPN because you can only use it stateside. And here we go. So this is Operator. And what it does, for those who don't know, is it can do web browsing and take actions for you. So a simple example that I like to use is sign me up for updates for University District in Calgary. So there's a property called University District in Calgary, and you can sign up for updates. So it's literally using Microsoft Bing as the browser. It's going to University District and going to sign me up for updates. So while it's doing that, I'm actually going to talk about what it's actually doing. You can actually see it here where it's going. Here's all the tasks it's actually doing. So,
And just to clarify, you're not doing anything, right, Carl?
nope, I'm not doing. My hands are there, and it's doing all this by itself. So you can see where it's putting in my name, my first name, my last name, email address, postal code. Now, how it knows that is there is custom instructions that you can put in. So my name is, I put in the custom instructions. My name is this is my email, this is my postal code, potentially what I could be interested in learning about. I can give it instructions not to declick the monthly blog, declick whatever, which is fine, but it's filled it out for me. And I'll say, yes, subscribe. And it'll finish subscribing. And it'll put the consent, which I didn't even tell it to do. It's going to hit subscribe. I will get a confirmation email, and then we'll complete the subscription process. So that's the first example, which is really neat. Now, I could have always taken control and take control of the browser itself and do something manual. But here's something else that I wanted to show people on what potentially you could do. So I'm going to open another tab. Same thing on Operator, and I'll share that tab instead. So I have two Operator tabs. This time I wanted to log in to HubSpot. So our website, 0to60.ai's website, is run through HubSpot. And I wanted to give this second example. As you can see, it put my personal email, but you can actually take control, and what it does is it gives you control now. So for example, here, I don't want that. I want my work email. So I want my 0to60 email, 0to60.ai. Put this next. I'll do my password instead. So
The camera's on, the pressure's on to get the right password.
not really, because we're not live. I'm actually okay. Okay, there it is. So I've logged in. I've done that manually. But what I'm going to do here is finish that up. I'm going to return the control to Operator. And now what I'm going to do is I want to create a landing page. Now, some of you are probably thinking, I can do this much faster, which is fine. What we have here is pretty much a research preview of Operator. First of all, you need to have O1 Pro to have this. Costs about $200 a month for O1 Pro. There's a lot of different features. But this is the worst this is going to be. So think about this in 3 to 6 months, how fast it's going to be. And you can see that if you saw what it just did, it actually went to the search bar and created a landing page and looked for the landing page. And now, yes, create a new one. And it picked a blank one, which is interesting. It didn't even ask me about the templates, but it gave me a blank one, which is kind of cool. And it even removes pop-ups, which is fantastic.
So again, to confirm, you're just spectating this. You're letting
I'm
operators
just
do all this for you.
watching it doing this by itself. It even named it landing page. So here it says landing page is created, title landing page. Should I proceed to publishing it? So I'm going to stop there. So Jeff, you saw the browser share of that and you saw what it could do. And, you know, I have two operators, one doing the website, one signing up. A couple thoughts came up for me. But before I go, what are some of the things that you were thinking of when you first saw it?
You know what? I think it's incredibly exciting to see what's coming down the line. I think this is a first preview. This is something that's come a lot faster than we thought it would. And I think the thing that goes through my mind is it's just a matter of trying to shift our thinking as humans and as we think of the way that we do things and try and figure out the use cases for this kind of technology. Because, you know, and I always default to that example, which a lot of people do. And Sam Altman says, well, that's not really the way you should be thinking about it, but it can book a trip for you. But it's something as simple as booking a trip for you, or booking a restaurant reservation, or building a landing page for a company. I think the thing is just going to be a matter of, you know, we always talk about this is still the Wild West, and we have to figure out how to utilize some of this technology so that it's not taking longer and not hallucinating and making mistakes. But I don't know. There's all kinds of applications. I have a list. I mean, I'm going from a business standpoint. I'm going, you know, could you create an operator that it acts like a salesperson that goes out, prospects, finds contact information, maybe makes initial contact, or even sets up a human to make that initial contact, or creates a content marketing campaign for a potential customer to try and draw them in so that you can connect them with a human. Customer service agents, like again, all on the business side. How could you create operators that could act on behalf of a company to be able to recruitment, you know, being able to go out and find potential candidates for jobs? It's just a matter of this is so new. It's a matter of how do we, you know, where's it going to go?
You know, the thing that immediately what I was thinking of, so you saw it provide, you know, I'm going to share it again here. I'm going to go to the HubSpot login page, right? So essentially I'm here working on HubSpot, you know, building a website. Could be any CMS, it doesn't matter. I can open another tab to do another task. So let's say I wanted to run Google Ads. So open another tab, ask my agent to do that. I can open another tab to go, let's say, into Salesforce and do whatever task in there. Then I can open another tab and say, book a vacation on something else. One of the things that I was thinking about immediately was, imagine you having 10 or 20 different operators doing 10 or 20 different tasks at a time. The new skill that people will have to have is not only the skill of, let's say, sales, HR, finance, accounting, marketing, whatever that is, but the ability to manage the AI agent. Because now you can deploy multiple agents at the same time. But if you've seen, you know, the HubSpot example where it still asks you for human intervention, put in your password, do this, shall I do this? You have to be knowledgeable about how to run Operator or whatever AI agent, because Google and Meta and Anthropic will all release their own versions down the road. That's a skill you'll have to have, not just a skill to execute the task, but actually understanding how to use Operator to ensure your AI agent is completing the task you're supposed to.
Totally. And I think that's where I talk about, you know, that different frame of mind, because, and I think there's a lot of people out there too that are going, I don't like this, because I kind of enjoy the process of searching for hotels and flights and car rentals and everything when they do their vacation. You're still going to be able to do that. But I also think for me, and there's going to be a lot of people out there that I'm going, I don't love that task. I love being able to narrow it down. So maybe I've got the best picks and then I can make a modification. So rather than looking at, 15 hotels and trying to narrow it down through TripAdvisor ratings or whatever it might be, I can have my agent have Operator go in and narrow it down to the top 3. That's going to save me a ton of time. And then I'm going to be able to focus on planning my activities for the trip rather than worrying about a hotel or the flights and everything. So I think it's going to take a while for people to kind of get on board with this, but there's two sides of it. There's the user standpoint, the general public, but then you're right. How do companies get set up so that they know how to interact with these agents on their side of things? So they're providing the proper information, or they're opening up the doors and allowing these agents to act on behalf of their customers and make it efficient. That's all the stuff that's coming down the line that I think will be still a bit of the Wild West.
Another thought that came to me was, it kind of reinforced the idea of AI disruption where larger companies are going to have a little bit more difficult time. We're talking IT, security. I don't know how they can possibly keep up with this, the change management aspect. But smaller companies and startups, much easier to embrace this. So imagine you're a startup in whatever industry, and instead of hiring, specific tasks, you hire an operator. Let's take marketing, for example, right? There's so many avenues of marketing: paid, organic, creative, whatever that is. So you can have one marketer or maybe one or two that are deploying and managing 5, 7, 10 operators at the same time. You've significantly reduced your headcount. I would say 10x your efficiency and productivity. You can easily compete with an established company. I don't think that's even that's a given fact now, right?
Oh, totally. And I think you're 100%. I mean, I think those smaller, nimble organizations are going to have a leg up because they're going to be able to adapt and incorporate this stuff. And you're right. You have that small mom and pop shop that's now competing with the big guy because the big guy was all worried about policies and head office approvals and all the hoops they got to jump through. And the little guy's coming up and offering a better solution. I think that's a huge opportunity.
Reduced headcount. We don't need 50 people. I need maybe 6 people running 10, 12 operators. That's a huge impact.
No, I think the thing about it is, there's the optimists and the pessimists. And I think that in every new development, new technology development, there's going to be the pessimists that are going, no, not going to work. Can't see people using this. It frightens me. Don't want to look at it. You got the optimists going, let's go for it. Let's see what we can do, because there will be problems. I mean, I think there's going to be challenges with these types of solutions where what happens when my agent goes out and makes a purchase on my behalf that I was like, oops, that was a mistake. Am I going to get a refund? What's your refund policy? I didn't buy it. My agent bought it. But those are all things you look back in history, and there's always been there's challenges when, computer programs came out for accounting or when the internet came out. But as humans, we're able to solve these things and move forward and create efficiency. I mean, not everybody was on board with online meetings. It really hit when COVID hit. All of a sudden now everybody's going, nah, I can do a Teams meeting or a Zoom meeting. It's more efficient and it works in some cases. So I think it's just, again, trying to, I think if people are open-minded to this and willing to work through it and get creative, there's going to be huge potential.
The next piece that I want to figure out is for those larger companies, enterprise level established companies, how, it adds another piece that they have to have an understanding on, build foundations of skill sets like an AI education. So it isn't just about, hey, how to use generative AI, how to use this type of AI, but now it's like, oh, I have to use operator, AI agents, right? And then all the change management surrounding that. I think they're put in a very difficult place because a lot of companies we talk to, believe it or not, it was funny because we were talking to a company this morning. One of the people said, "Oh, I didn't even know ChatGPT had a paid version." So the level of understanding in terms of AI tools themselves is so broad. How can they possibly compete when this is coming? It's so fast.
Yeah, and again, that's our constant message to everybody is don't ignore it. It's not going away. Educate yourself, learn about it. You're going to be in a better position to adapt. And the other question that we had was, how do you guys stay on top of all this stuff? Well, I mean, for us, it's pretty much a full-time job of trying to stay on top of this. Operator came out yesterday and you were online last night testing it out, trying to figure out, any kind of opportunities and, downfalls to it. So again, I think it's just being open-minded and people being willing to accept this. And I think as well, we also have to think about, again, the applications for it. I mentioned sales agent, customer service, but if you think travel agent, if you think recruitment, interior design, if I want to renovate my house, can I have an operator that can go out and help develop floor plans for me or help design a house? Fashion, if I want to change up my wardrobe, is there something that can go out and make some selections based on current market trends, but also what's available in the stores that I'm in? Vehicle purchases, tax returns, land development. Like there's so many different applications. I think we just have to think about where the opportunities are.
Another, like the big question, I think when I started thinking about, hey, one person or AI operator or AI agent manager, what happens there? I don't know. I feel there's going to be a huge disruption to the economy itself, right? The typical way of hiring, of growing a business is hiring people and then growing that way, and then eventually hiring more people. But that may not be the case because hiring people could then equal, hey, we just need more operators. We just need more agent to do this specific task. Now our business is ready to do this. We'll just have, instead of hiring 4 more people, you're only hiring 1 AI agent manager to deploy 6 more operators. I'm not sure if people are understanding the impact that will have on the economy.
I think impact both negatively and positively. I think if you think about it, I mean, if I've got a sales organization, I'm selling cars, I'm selling widgets, whatever it is, and I create a team of 100 operators, agents that are my sales agents, and you've maybe got 2 or 3 people sitting back in a control room in front of computers and responding to the requests that are being brought up from the various agents, and they're responding to the questions that are maybe above knowledge level of an agent, but they're still interacting with customers. That's pretty powerful. And so you think about it, that makes that company more efficient. It might provide a better experience for customers if you can fine tune it. But then that also has the negative impact of what happens to the 97 salespeople that used to be employed that are no longer needed. So I think we have to take, those ramifications into play. But again, rather than sticking your head in the sand and ignoring it, it's better off to jump in and join the game rather than sitting on the sidelines.
So Jeff, we've been on this for a while now. Do you have an idea in terms of AI adoption for any company, medium size, large size, whatever? I know operators still in a research preview. I know it's only for ChatGPT Pro, which a lot of people don't even buy the paid version of ChatGPT. They're still using the free version. Deployment wise, what do you think in terms of months or years for companies to actually start really integrating this type of activity and thinking into their business?
Well, you and I are a little bit biased in our opinions because we're in the game. But I mean, I think that the time for companies to start looking into it is now. I think realistically, and you always point this out, that it's going to take time for companies to get set up and for customers to interact with these things. We're probably looking 12, 24, maybe 36 months out before it's flowing. But that's not very long. I mean, that's a real quick turnaround time. And I think the thing that organizations business executives need to think about is that if you're not looking into it, what if your competitor is? And what if your competitor is looking at building out these agents and using this technology like Operator to use it as a competitive advantage, and you're still stuck in the Stone Age, too busy doing your daily tasks to not look at this? You might get caught off guard.
Yeah, so I guess the message we have for businesses, or the question that we have, is what are the areas your business could immediately benefit from Operator if you had full access to it? And really, what are the steps your business could take to prepare employees for this type of activity, where not only do they have to know their job, but they actually have to know how to essentially manage or operate an operator or several different operators and deploying it. And really, the big question is, because we're still looking at it from the perspective of today's business operations, today's how business are supposed to be run, what are the new and innovative ways we can come up with? Because now we have these AI agents being able to be deployed and to do the things that normally would have taken 30, 40 people. What are the new ways that you could actually deploy Operator that is completely different than how we operate today? Learn more about implementing AI in your business by watching these videos here. Enjoy today's episode? Want to learn how AI can impact your business? Then please subscribe to this channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in our next episode.